Pitch up on the left. Play clock at 5. Pass is intercepted.
You're listening to In the Huddle AU. Welcome everyone to episode 8. We have a full staff here today. With
the boys are back in town!
Oh, jeez.
You said you weren't going to do that.
I might go on holidays again.
Okay. Yeah, we just
Anyway.
just concluded week 6 in the NFL.
Whoa!
No big time injuries this week, which is good. Good for teams. Good for fantasy teams.
We're getting a welcome back, or?
Well, I suppose we could. Where'd you head off to?
Oh, I got my
Josh?
tan on. Got my tan on in far north Queensland, followed by Indonesia.
Sounds terrible.
Yeah.
Townsville obviously used to live there, so that was a good bit of fun going to see some family, some little cousins I'd never met before, so that was some fun. And then went to Bali, so that was an eye-opener, but it's good to be back. Good to get a full night's NFL in Sunday night.
And no Bali belly?
No, that was the number one priority, get in and out of there alive, and I
you
did
go.
so successfully.
Enough about Josh. I was in sunny Melbourne
And,
for a couple of weeks.
And we have Tom Lynch here.
Sunny Melbourne it was.
Yeah, you can tell.
Yeah.
It must have been really
Got a nice
sunny.
little tan
A
and
nice little reddening of
yeah.
the skin. Yeah,
We're all wearing sunnies.
You have lots of freckles.
yeah, really enjoyed my time there and glad to be back. But yeah, the holiday season doesn't stop. Heading to Noosa in a couple of weeks, which will be real nice with the family.
Only got about 6 weeks to go in the holidays.
Oh,
God,
take
crazy.
full advantage. Actually, I've got to stop looking forward to these games on Monday morning because it's ruining my break. I've got to start enjoying my holidays rather than just saying, gee, okay, Monday morning's done. I've got to wait till next Monday now.
I have so many messages when I wake up at 6 in the morning. I've got like 23 messages.
I'm sure your wife doesn't like that.
No, she doesn't.
It's amazing. I would be interested to find out how many of our listeners do the all-nighter, stay up and watch the countdown that comes on at about 2 o'clock or 1:30 and then hook into the games. I know Josh does it, so...
Those are the true fans, the red bloods.
So there's 2 of us in here do it, and so only 2 true friends.
The others have jobs. And so this week we have a new competition.
Oh,
Yeah, we're back.
Yes, we do. We're looking for the number of sacks and the number of interceptions for the Hawks. For the Seahawks this week, Thursday night game
I hate how you keep
against
bringing
the
this.
49ers.
So sacks plus interceptions.
Not combined.
Needs
We're
to be
looking for
accurate.
Yep, we're looking for sacks.
So you need the sacks
And-
number and the interception number.
Correct.
Yep.
Wow.
Yep.
Oh.
To be
Against
honest,
who?
Against the 49ers.
Against the 49ers. Ooh.
Might be some high numbers.
Jeez, yeah. You're
I
right.
hate how you keep bringing the Seahawks into this podcast.
I
because
actually
I'm starting.
chose this.
They are starting to become irrelevant.
I chose this. I chose
for mine,
the
so I'm sure we're going to touch on that later. But
We
gee,
will.
you could have picked a better game than the
need to.
Seahawks.
Obviously not up with it, Tom, because it's always a Thursday night football competition.
Well, let's talk about the 49ers.
Well, feel free.
Well,
Hang
they're
on.
playing-
What are you going to say?
Well, they've doubled the wins of the Seahawks.
Joe,
That's a good start.
That's a good
That's a good start.
That's a
Have they
valid
got 4
point.
wins?
They haven't. They're both 2 and 3.
Yeah, probably got
We might need to just edit that one out.
Anyway, we'll leave that.
Anyway,
But moving into week 6, a review of week 6, the New York Jets. Now they're a team that I don't think many of us expected to do as well as they are, and they're flying under the radar in New York City, aren't they, Josh?
they are. Listening to the great Daniel Jeremiah just before, taking the great AJ the Husky for a walk, and he said if Rex Ryan was still coaching, imagine the mayhem that would be going on in New York. But Todd Bowles has just got this team. They're all humble. They're going under the radar. 4-1. They've got that number 1 receiver they've always longed for, and I guess to his credit, Ryan Fitzpatrick's getting the job done, and all things look pretty rosy in New York, but it may come to a screeching halt this week.
Yeah, for the Jets, when you look at a team that loses their coach, it's all about the team at that point. It's all about, not to borrow a line from the Patriots, but it's about doing your job. It's about you knowing what your assignment is according to how the opposition is lining up and just performing at 100%. And the Jets are doing that. I'm actually really excited to see how they perform against the Patriots here pretty soon.
Yep. Should be a great game to watch. And then we had Kansas City just kind of fall apart here, didn't they, Tom?
They certainly did, and I know it's been 1 week, but they're missing Jamal Charles a bit more than what some people might have thought. But you know, I don't want to gloat or anything, but Josh, you did pick them to have a really good year.
Yeah, I was just going through my notes to I think
I've gone through mine.
in the AFC Championship game potentially.
Yeah, I remember.
Yeah, well, that was a healthy team, though, right?
Yeah, that obviously looks pretty embarrassing now, but that's that's why we picked them.
Yeah, but
Well,
to get to the AFC Championship game, you got to rely on more than just one
Yeah,
player.
nobody can predict ACL injuries. I mean,
Correct.
Sharkhandrick West and Niall Davis did not have a good game, and what are you going to do about it? I mean,
Jerry Macklin got concussed. You know what they do these days? They just sit you on as soon as you get a head knock.
Tom is well
As they
known.
should.
The amount of time I spend with him, I'll know as well as anyone. But Tom, if you're either an elite quarterback, so Rodgers or Brady, or you're no good.
Brady or Rodgers.
And Tom's always said Alex Smith's no good, and I've sort of thought he was all right. I'm starting to lean towards that. I'm not sure he can play.
Yeah, well, he's
So do I get a ding for that?
It's tough when you put the game on the shoulders of the quarterback, knowing that the one workhorse you have is not there anymore. It's really tough. I mean, Sharkhandrick West is not Jamal Charles, nor is Niall Davis.
Yeah.
What are you going to do?
Yeah, but the Kansas City defense isn't the same defense as the last pass.
They kept him in the game on the weekend.
They did keep him in the game.
Okay. Agree, disagree.
All right, and then we had the Dolphins, who made a bit of a comeback now with their new head coach Dan Campbell and Cameron Wake had 4 sacks. Do you want to lead on that one, Drew?
I like the fact that they've got this head coach in now that is the polar opposite to the other to the other coach. The old coach, he was the methodical, sit at the computer, write down the notes, and this guy just wants guys to smash him in the mouth, and that's what they're doing now. And that there's something to be said for it. A nice, refreshing change can be really good for guys who are just plugging along every week. So the Dolphins, they performed really well.
6 sacks for the Dolphins, but none for the $100 million man so far this season.
He is not earning his money.
I think we're going to have Sue watch.
Well, he is, but he's not playing for it.
I think it's fair enough. We should have a Sue watch because that guy is getting crazy. Whoever his agent is, I must applaud you because he's not making any efforts at all on the defense.
2 tackles he had on the weekend.
Unbelievable.
Then we have Carolina's comeback against my Seahawks. Who are we going to lead that one to, Josh?
Cam Newton has seriously become a pocket passer. Cam Newton, when he was in college, when I watched him adamantly in college, he was a zone read. If the run's not there, pull it and go with a pass option. But now he is just relying on his offensive line, and he is throwing the ball, and he's got a fantastic arm. I can't say anything bad about him.
Off the field, he wears some outrageous
Yeah, but who cares, man? It's all about fashion. That guy is fantastic.
Well,
he's
you
awesome.
and I have different
He's the
thoughts
Russell
on
Westbrook of
fashion.
the NFL.
Dude, if your bank account is that big, who gives a crap if you're wearing a
Have some
sweet-
pride.
I don't know. He's
He
cutting
wears
edge.
3/4 pants suits.
Look,
pants.
I hated, and I said it in when he was playing for Auburn. I hated the fact that I liked him, but I liked him.
I love him. In fairness, I do love him.
He has exactly what you need as a quarterback. He's got swagger, panache, charisma.
And
he's got all of it.
Another little nugget
And he's
I
got an
heard.
arm.
Another nugget.
Go ahead, Josh.
Another nugget I heard. He's second all time for the amount of games
Unbelievable.
with 1 passing touchdown and 1 rushing touchdown.
Wow.
Second all time.
He's
Already.
He is detrimental in the red
That's
zone.
stat of the
It
day.
is hard to start.
No, that's impressive. How about Sunday Night Football? We had the Pats come in and get a little revenge.
Over to
Deflate
you.
game.
Over to you.
Who we put
I'm happy
on?
to lead this one in with the Pats. A couple of interesting things happened after that game. I'm not sure if you guys saw it or if you watched the full game, but I obviously watched every last slither. Tom actually took the game ball off the field.
Yes, that was very interesting.
Yeah, he handed his helmet to I'm not sure who, but took the game ball, and Bill actually also ran him down and gave him a hug.
Yeah.
So Belichick never really shows any emotion out in the field and never does anything, but chased him off the field as Tom was trying to exit and gave him a big long hug. So
I'd also like to say with the crybaby Colts that in the last 4 games for the Patriots against the Colts, it's 189 Patriots to 73 Colts.
The Colts have copped an unfair rap, I reckon.
Why?
Just give me 10 seconds.
All right.
If you suspect the opposition of doing something illegal, you are going to say something.
Yeah,
So
you just
what else?
and leave it at that.
What else have they done?
Well,
They
they've
reported
continued.
it?
No, they drove it. It wasn't about him saying. He didn't just say something. He drove that agenda. He drove it, and that is what got it to where it went to.
All right.
It was an emotional night anyway for
It was,
for Tom
absolutely.
and Co. And
It was.
he couldn't have done anything more.
And it was way closer than it should have been.
But he was spectacular, and I mean, there's a couple of drops, but you know, Julian Edelman, your boy in fantasy, Josh, had a drop, so that was quite interesting.
He also spent a little bit of time, as he does every week, in the end zone, so
Yeah, he did.
He more than made up for it.
That guy is a lethal weapon. For him to be as short as he is, he's fantastic. So one of the things that I want to talk about is what the chuck happened to the Colts.
What the chuck?
What the chuck?
Oh,
Tom obviously handed you that line.
Okay.
or
Actually, he didn't. I want to break this down. Okay. A minute and 14.
Keep it simple.
A minute and 14 left in the third quarter. The Colts trailed 27-21, and they faced what was 4th down and 3 from their own 37. Right. So at that point, it's 27-21. You're towards the end of the third quarter. You punt the ball. Okay.
Get that assassin.
Pagano decides to run what has already been deemed as the worst play in history of the NFL.
Hang on. What? Worst?
I'm
The
happy with
worst-
No, I'm happy with that.
The worst play in the history of the NFL with a wide receiver at the snapping or center position, a safety at the quarterback, 6 men off of the line of scrimmage. First of all, the penalty they called was all of the right side was off the line of scrimmage, right? You know what I'm saying? So you've got the Pats left 4 covering 2 guys in the middle with an attempt to either get the Pats with an offside penalty or 12 men off the line of scrimmage. And then the guy who never plays quarterback, the safety, calls for the ball, and the wide receiver, who's never played center, snaps the ball. What are you doing? You down the... I mean, if anything, you just call a timeout.
It's hard to keep track of all that, but what you're saying is they've obviously stuffed up a trick play. But they also obviously got the onside kick, which nearly got recovered, which probably should have been recovered by the Colts. I mean, if you give the ball back to Tom there, you know, you're just putting it right into their hands. So I understand his theory on trying to run a trick play.
It was a lack of installation during the week is what happened. So
it just wasn't the right play.
Yeah, they didn't have enough scenarios involved in that.
So next, let's take a look at the undefeated teams. We have New England, Cincinnati, Denver, Green Bay, and Carolina. So, boys, out of those teams, who has the best quarterback in your opinion?
It's a draw for mine. I spent a bit of time looking at the numbers, and I guess the eye test is as good as anything when you've got 2 players as great as these two. But can anyone give me a reason why one should be ranked first and one should be ranked second? That's a tie. It has to be.
Well, for me, I can easily split them. I mean, Tom has to play with 5 rings on his finger, and that's including the one married to Giselle.
Right.
But you're probably right there, Josh. They are playing some very good football. I mean, these 5 teams especially, they've all got their leader at the quarterback position. So
Who has the worst?
I think on reputation, you're just going to have to go with Andy Dalton.
We're living in the moment.
And I'm just saying, and he still hasn't been able to get that playoff victory. And
we're living in the moment.
I understand, but in the moment, he still is on 0 playoff wins. So I'm going to go with Andy Dalton only for the fact of he can get him there, but can he finish? He's doing what he's always done. That's the thing.
I don't know about that.
To be fair, Dalton. I mean, Peyton hasn't necessarily performed in the playoffs either. I feel like Tom has more of an embarrassment of riches. I mean, he's got both really good running backs. He's got a fantastic tight end. He's got some scat back wide receivers.
Who's this, sorry?
Tom Brady.
Well, so you reckon he's got the most talent on offense? Or is he making them the most talented?
Compared to Green Bay.
The worst of the group, we're saying, you think, Tom? You think Andy Dalton has?
I think Andy Dalton.
I think it's Manning, because I can only see Manning going down.
You're looking at what he's doing current.
Yeah, well, I think Manning as well.
Who do you want to walk into your side? Who do you want to walk out there for your Sunday, next Sunday, the Sunday after, the Sunday after?
Yep.
And as it gets colder, and as Manning gets older, because he ain't getting any younger, I think his play is going to deteriorate.
Yep. Okay.
And I know you've mentioned it before, Josh, and you say age is undefeated. It's one of your favourite lines.
Father time.
But he's also got that experience. So I mean, it's obviously at this stage, you know, agree to disagree, and everyone's just got their opinion. But it'll be really interesting to see how it plays out. But I've got no surprise that obviously the 2 elite quarterbacks in Tom and Aaron are getting the job done.
Correct.
Yep. And what about the run game?
Well, another interesting one. I ranked No one really has a really elite. I thought Denver had the potential to have an elite running back crew.
Yeah.
But I think Bernard and Hill's probably underperforming a little bit, but Bernard's really stepped up. He was a sensation as a rookie. I think Bernard and Hill probably the premier running back group out of those sides.
Yep.
Yeah, I agree with Josh. I mean, those guys are electric in my mind. I mean, I thought Denver were going to have such a better run game this year with Hillman and CJ Anderson, but obviously Green Bay's still got Eddie Lacy. He hasn't been productive of the last few weeks, especially. And
he was off a lot this weekend.
Yeah,
second on the team for rushing yards.
Yeah,
but you wouldn't think he would have been off that much.
But obviously, you still have to go. He's done it before, Eddie, and
he must have went to Bama.
No,
he must have. I
think there's a quiet injury they're not talking about.
Yeah, I agree, but he certainly will get the snaps as well. But I reckon those three teams, Cincinnati, Denver, and Green Bay, have the potential, and Carolina and New England have obviously got some parts, but is run by mainly their quarterback.
All right, well, let's take a look at the receivers out of these undefeated teams. Tom, who do you favor out of these?
Well, I'm going to start with who I least favour,
Okay.
and I'm going to run with the Panthers, obviously with the key injury to Calvin Benjamin this off-season, well, in the preseason anyway.
You mean the guy I drafted?
The guy you did draft after he was injured as well.
I completely forgot he blew his ACL.
You probably shouldn't let the listeners know that. They're
Fantastic.
trying to act smart on this podcast. But
okay, I'm still tied for the lead.
Greggy Olsen's obviously his only real target at the minute. He's obviously got some parts in there too, but I mean, the others have got some elite receivers, obviously.
Simple for mine.
Denver have got the spoils of
Simple for mine.
Demarius and Emmanuel.
Yep.
Green Bay have got Randall, Devontae Adams, and obviously losing Jordy Nelson in the pre-season. Cincinnati have got Josh's favourite and AJ Green.
Yeah, he's good.
Marvin Jones is playing well.
He is playing well, and obviously the rise of Tyler Eifert. And New England, it's hard to tell whether it's due to the quarterback. They've obviously got 87, and he's arguably one of the best players in the league.
Without a doubt.
But I'm not sure if the other guys. I'm a real fan for Julian Edelman, and I've told Josh continually that I think he's the best receiver in football.
He's pretty damn good, man.
Well, who are you taking?
So I'm going to, after all that, I'm going to go with the Patriots. And only because their quarterback makes them look better, and maybe their scheme, but the others have lost a few little parts along the way.
Well, Denver's receivers are playing really almost without a quarterback, right?
Well, Denver's pretty much playing without an offense. It's the defense that's keeping them in games.
So, Josh, what are your thoughts on this?
If, as we are doing with the segment, if you're to take a receiving group, forget about the rest, I'm taking the Bengals.
Okay. Drew, who are you taking?
Yeah, I'd take the Bengals as well.
All right.
Thank you.
Very good. All right, fellas, let's take a look at the defense now. Tom, what's your take?
A little bit bitter on a couple of last discussions. But
we've just had some off-air brawls, verbal stoushes between the two Patriot lovers.
Broke out some Band-Aids.
I think the teams with the two best quarterbacks are the teams with the most question marks on their defense. In the Patriots and the Packers, I think Denver obviously has been balling out this year on defense. Cincinnati's got a great set of talent, and Carolina have a really good defense as well. So I'm going to say those three are obviously ticks for mine, and the other two have got some question marks.
All right.
I wrestled with. I actually gave the nod to Denver. I think the productivity early in the year has been strong. They've actually won the games for the Broncos.
And for my fantasy team.
But I only just ahead of Carolina. I think Carolina's defense is stout. They just get in your face. There's no running the ball against them. They've obviously got the new on the scene. He's in his fourth year, but he's really burst onto the scene. Josh Norman, the cornerback. He gambled on himself as a free agent. It's going to pay off. That's going to pay off.
That's right.
So it was neck and neck with Denver and Carolina. Cincinnati have got an excellent defense. New England scheme well, as they do across the board. And I think Green Bay's defense has been playing above expectation.
Drew, what are your thoughts on defense?
So, of these 5 teams, I'm going to take Denver all day, every day. Denver has been atrocious on offense, and the Denver defense has really kept them in the game. Cincinnati's always been really good for the past 5 years. They've been really good. New England, it's kind of a mix and match kind of thing. Green Bay, fantastic. Love Clay Matthews. Carolina, but I'm taking Denver. If you want to give me a choice of those, I'm definitely taking Denver.
Can they keep it up?
All right.
Can they keep it up? Absolutely, they can keep it up. Yeah.
And how about those coaches?
Well, it's probably, I think, pains me to say it, it's probably about who's second, because Belichick's proven to be the #1 coach out of those guys. There's a couple of guys that have got massive question marks over them. Marvin Lewis has been in Cincinnati for that long. Hasn't been able to get it done.
He's
Don't
getting
get me
close.
wrong. I like him. I think he's good.
He's getting close. It's, the NFL, the parity in the NFL, as we've spoken about all throughout this podcast, is very, very, very close with every team. It's very
You want to
close.
be getting close because, gee, I tell you what, Chuck Pagano's on the chopping block and he's improved every year.
Well, Pagano's not in this list. That we're
I
talking about
understand,
now, so-
but he's improved every year and he got into the AFC Championship game last year. And good old your boy from Cincinnati can't get a win.
Yeah.
The old Andrew.
Yeah.
But it's Belichick. Agreed?
I love
that's-
Belichick is the Dark
Yeah.
Lord. I love him so much. He's
That's
fantastic.
not even a discussion.
All right, in this week's 2-minute drill, we're going to take a look at our picks for the Heisman Trophy. I'm going to go with Seth Russell, number 17, quarterback
Who is Seth?
for the Baylor Bears.
Just tell everyone who he is, please.
Yep. 6'3", 220 pounds junior, quarterback for the number 2 ranked Baylor Bears.
I can't help you.
I should be bringing home the bacon here because I've got the winner. It's Fournette, the beast from LSU.
Who I put money on.
Undefeated, 6-0, 4-0 in the SEC. They talk about how hard the SEC is. LSU are making a mockery of it. The reason they're not 7-0 is because one game got washed out.
Talking about the player.
150 carries this year. He's already got 1,202 yards. Most NFL running backs don't get those numbers. 14 touchdowns. And get this, he is averaging 200.3 yards per
Those are crazy.
The double
game.
century.
Thank you. So do you get to talk
Crazy.
about your
Thank you,
guys?
Drew.
Right?
And Fournette has been rested in a couple of games as well, to be fair.
Thanks, Drew.
Alabama really wanted Leonard Fournette very, very, very much.
Not
and
enough.
He decided to stay home in Louisiana, where he's from. But we got somebody who's a half man, half rhino. His name's Derrick Henry. He's at 152 as opposed to 150 attempts rushing. He's got 900 yards rushing. He's got 12 touchdowns instead of 14. But Alabama has 5 stars across the board when it comes to red zone. Okay, so the half man, half rhino Derrick Henry is the one for me.
Who are 6-0. He has a 63.2%.
Convince us,
completion.
mate. We don't want the numbers. Convince us.
Yeah.
I would say they're wide receiver for Baylor.
Player of the week last week. Well, who got the wide receiver the ball?
I'm just
All
saying.
right, it's the quarterback. Almost 5 TDs a game. He's getting the job done.
Pretty good.
Pack it up.
All right. Well, I'm going to go with, we're going to stick on the quarterback theme. I'm going to go with Trayvon Boykin from the TCU Horned Frogs. And I'm going to go with that reason why is because he's had over 2,600 passing yards. He's had 25 touchdowns already with his arm and 5 with his feet. So, you know, any more convincing than that?
All right, so here's the most enjoyable part of the podcast, and that's taking a look back to our pick'ems, our sure things, and our bets of last week. So last week, our sure things, JJ, you had Dan Orlovsky will not throw this week.
Yes, and I copped some flack from a certain someone who didn't actually attend the podcast.
Oh, yeah.
Your attendance, okay.
Anyway, I also vindicated the Orlovsky statement with the fact that Stafford would dominate. And Stafford dominated.
Well, there you have it.
Okay,
Thank you.
there we go.
Tom, if you're not there to say anything, you can't say anything.
Correct.
So there you have it.
Boom.
Yeah, but... No,
Tick me.
All right. And Drew, he got a bit emotional last week, fellas. I had to break out the tissues for him. He picked, he said the Pats in a vengeance game would put up 40 points against Indy.
What'd they score?
They did not. Well, they didn't get 40.
34.
34. I
Yeah,
mean,
so that's not 40.
Close.
It's close enough.
They got like
man.
38, I would have said, yeah.
Yeah,
fair
yeah,
enough. 38 is
yeah.
basically
Yeah, oh, you're
40.
going to give him that, but he was against you last week.
No,
All right, that's
I would have given him 38. If that's fair enough. 37,
Okay.
38.
What are you going to do?
There's a three difference. Three difference.
All right. Very good. 3 difference.
Yeah.
And Tom,
Yep.
you picked Alex Smith to throw for 40 times, and that didn't happen
Oh.
either. You got 37.
Oh,
so like
three
you
difference.
said,
So that tick.
Oh,
Please,
yeah, a little
tick,
bit of
well,
a...
yeah, I'm sure that
37.
6
was
points,
Yeah.
3...
Interesting,
three
actually.
passes.
That wasn't
back
thought
there,
out.
I actually gave Josh a call in the early hours of Monday morning and said Alex Smith has only thrown it 6 times in the first half. So he certainly got to work in the second half.
Well,
Changed that game
the
plan.
running backs weren't doing anything
Correct,
to help him
correct,
out. So you
but,
might as well throw the ball if neither of those running backs
If
are
only
doing
he
anything.
just picked that up a couple of plays earlier, I might have got to my 40.
Yep, very good. All right, so what do we have this week? What do you have, Josh?
I have my sure thing this week is, and it goes against everything I've just achieved in the last 2 hours because I've just acquired Tom Brady in the fantasy world.
A really good trade.
But
I can't believe
who would do that?
I can't believe that went through, James.
but this week Darrell Revis will pick Tom Brady.
James, another mention.
Say that again, sorry?
Revis.
Darrell Revis will pick Tom Brady.
Oh.
That's your.
Oh, his old
Is that
teammate.
your sure thing?
It's my sure thing.
All right.
Wow.
Revis will catch one of Brady's passes.
That's interesting.
Woo. So I'm just gonna say this here now. The Seahawks have been atrocious, right?
Oh.
I mean,
love it.
Look, being a Patriots guy, I like the fact the Seahawks aren't very good, but the Seahawks will get it done against the 49ers this weekend. The Seahawks are gonna. This is their whipping boy, their poster child. They will absolutely annihilate the 49ers this weekend. That's my sure thing.
I hope you're right.
How many points we talking? Give us a figure. We need to be able to measure
I'm
this.
talking 35 plus.
35 plus
What?
points. Okay, I'm
Love it.
Fine.
That's what we're here
Talking,
for.
Sure.
Putting it out there.
Tom,
I'm going to go on the same theme as Josh last week and say Garoppolo's not going to get a snap this week.
What is that as a sure thing?
No, look, I'm joking.
No, not really.
Look, I'm joking. But I'm going to go with Breeze and Luck to both have over 300 yards in a shootout.
300 yards.
Both
Really?
have over 300 yards passing.
Like
So
it.
no running back gets a ball at all.
We're
Well,
finally,
I've actually got Ingram in my fantasy team, and I'm still willing to go with this.
we're finally starting to get a hang of it.
Yeah,
Okay.
very
Ball
good.
calls. That's what we want.
Yep.
Sure.
I'm going to take Vic. We'll pass for 3. I'm just joking. I'll go with Bortles.
Bortles?
Yep. I'm going with your Jacksonville Jaguars. Bortles will throw for 250 and 2 touchdowns against the Bills.
You're very conservative with your numbers, Nate.
I am.
250 and 2.
Yeah.
Very
well, the
conservative.
300 is a bit of a
So
concern.
you said
It is
over
a bit of a
35
feat.
points, and I've gone with over 300 each.
Yep. And I've gone 250 and 2.
Well, against the Bills in London.
Not
All right,
all-
so our pick'ems last week, JJ had Green Bay to beat San Diego. Well done.
Tick, tick, tick.
Drew, Atlanta hammers the Saints. Yep.
Oop.
Tom, Pats over
NFL.
Colts.
Obvious.
And I had Seattle over.
Oop.
All right.
Another
Moving
20
on.
bucks.
Moving on.
Moving on.
Get through
Moving
this
on.
quickly. I'm going to go Seattle
What's that? You're picking
this week.
Oh, you're
I'm
on
picking
Seattle.
this week, Seattle.
All right.
I'm going to go with your short thing.
Yeah, fair
Seattle.
enough. Fair enough.
Okay. Drew.
Fair enough. I'm going to take the Bills over the Jags. The Bills are hot, man. Take the Bills.
Don't know about that one. I'm going to take Seattle to beat San Fran as well.
And I have the Pats to beat the Jets.
Whoa! That's going to be a tough. That's going to be that's the game of the week. Pats and Jets. Game of the
Yeah.
week.
Well, I picked them, so.
Let's get to the bets.
Let's take a look at the bets. So last week, Josh, you had Atlanta to cover the 3, Detroit to cover 2.5, and Seattle to cover 6.
Incorrect.
You got Detroit, and that was about it. Drew, you had Atlanta to cover 3, Jacksonville to cover 1.5, the Bears to cover 3, and Carolina to cover 7.
We all
you
got it
did
wrong.
not get one right.
Yeah.
Tommy had the
Minimal.
Pats, the Seahawks, the Jets, and the Cards all to win. You got 2 of those right.
I don't know what the...
You didn't. I had Atlanta, Miami, Seattle, and Jets to win, and I didn't get any of those. Well, actually, I got 2 right, but none of us got any of our bets correct
Yeah,
this
it was
week.
tough
So
week, tough week.
we owe the fans some winners this week.
Hey, look, there's
So
a reason why
let's-
none of us are professional sports bettors.
Well, we
okay?
are,
This-
but we also
the NFL is very hard.
responsibly.
In fairness, Saturday night at the Swan Hill Cup, you would have thought I was a professional gambler.
Yeah, you went big.
Anyway, we'll do our best, though. We do our best.
Well, do you want to lead us off, Tom?
Yeah, I
What's your
will.
bet
And,
for the week?
and we spoke about it, before the show started today, and about the Pats and Jets game. So I'm going to stick to what I know, and I'm going to run with the Pats to cover at 8.5.
Whoa.
I think it's about time they
8.5
gave
against
a
the
little
New
bit of a
York Jets.
blowout to the New York Jets, and I'm only predicting this with my heart.
Okay.
We spoke about it, and we
They
think that
say,
the Jets have obviously got a great defense and starting to, things a little bit rolling on offense, but I just think that Josh and I were at the game last year against the Jets in Foxborough, and it was only thanks to a blocked field goal by the Pats that they ended up getting the chocolates, and that was the infamous night we shared a latte with Thomas.
a lot.
But I'm going to run with the Pats to blow them out. And
Wow. I hope
it's
so.
more hoping.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because my brain's telling me I can't get one other.
So you're giving us
So you've got one.
$1.90.
Yeah,
got one.
and I'm going to whack it.
Okay,
I'm going to put $10 on it.
You would put 10
I'm gonna
G's on
buy-
it.
$10.
I'm gonna go from
Wow.
$10. I'm gonna go from a nice foot-long sub
That's
to
two schnitties. That's a buy one
I'm
get
gonna
one
go
free
from a
schnitty.
foot-long sub to a nice steak.
All right, Drew, what do you have?
Okay, so I'm doing the same thing. Normally, I'd give you about 4 different teams to cover
We need a bounce
or
back though, don't we?
to win. But I'm gonna give you this one right now, and it's gonna win. I'm telling you.
Oh,
So
geez.
take the Falcons
Oh.
to cover the 3.5 against the Titans. Mariota has got a really bad problem with a knee. The offensive line is not blocking. He needs to rest. Mariota, if Mariota doesn't get rest very soon, he is absolutely going to become another RG3, and you don't need that to happen to another quarterback like that. So take the Falcons to cover 3.5 against the Titans.
All right, time to get serious. Time to actually win some money. I've just changed, and in saying that, I've just changed my bet in the last 5 seconds. I'm taking Calvin Johnson and Jimmy Graham will both score a touchdown. Anytime. That's anytime touchdown.
Wow.
$1.70 for each. Put your house on it.
I am going to take the Patriots, the Skins, the Colts, Atlanta, and the 49ers.
Patriots,
You are
Skins,
kidding me!
Colts, 49er. You're
Yeah.
taking the
49ers
49ers
money!
to cover
1308.
to cover
Yeah,
or
just
win?
Just to win.
Just because the odds
Wow.
make it look like you're going to win some money,
Holy
you're necessarily
cow.
not going to.
Well, I'm not just going with the Pets to win.
Hang
I
on,
can put a little more than that.
The 49ers are a dumpster fire right now.
Dumpster fire. How my Hawks doing?
They were putting in the hang train at
Hey.
running back this
Oh,
weekend.
Man,
dude.
that's all right.
Gentlemen, it's going to be a very interesting
jeez.
podcast next week.
Yeah, that'll
I'm
be
actually
a
looking
good
forward to next week. Your sure thing
Yeah.
is that Seattle are going to win by more than 35. And Nate's giving out bets that the 49ers are going to win.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
35.
No, I said they're going to put up 35, not win by 35. They're going to put up 35.
Oh,
It's
you didn't
amazing,
clarify that,
it's
didn't
amazing
you?
the NFL that we can be this divided. Can make us this divided.
Well, there's a reason why, again, that we don't bet on it for a living
Okay.
because it is really difficult.
Don't go against your sure thing.
I do. I think I backed Carolina at $11.
A lot of different codes of football back themselves on the parody of the NFL, trying to be the same way that this is good because you can't pick it, man.
All right, well, thanks for joining us on episode 8 of In the Huddle AU. Nice to have the full crew back here today.
Oh yeah, it was fantastic.
Yeah,
Great
really-
job,
yeah,
guys. You all
yeah.
did really good.
Yeah, I really enjoyed that one. And be sure to join us next week. But in the meantime,
gonna be fun
hit us up
episode.
on Twitter at In the Huddle AU, Facebook, and be sure to check us out on iTunes. Subscribe, like, share,
Subscribe.
do all those good things.
Great.
Have a good week.
Roll Tide.